And look, the genuine and supportive is a fabulous segue, I think, into introducing Fudge into the conversation. Ali was very keen. Fudge has been a genuine supporter at UTS Randwick Sparks, and it would be fabulous, Fudge, if you could just spend a couple of moments talking to us about some of the opportunities that have been created at the club.
Margaret, thank you for having me, Lauren as well from New South Wales Netball, but a special thank you to Ali and Courtney for allowing me to stand beside you guys and walk with you in this space and be able to present and talk with everyone else on the Zoom. So I think the main thing to understand from our point of view as administrators is that the ability for us to work in partnership and share the responsibility. I think we're not the netball professionals. The netball professionals are the players and the coaches. So from the very, very start, the Sparks wanted to be inclusive, youthful and connected. And how we do that is by empowering and passing the baton on essentially to our coaches and our leaders. Our leader is Ali Tucker, along with Sharon Hill, who are both incredible advocates for change and movement and support and all that sort of stuff. So from my point of view and from the UTS Spark board point of view, it's really just about embracing who we have as our leaders and supporting them with however they feel best fit. And it changes year to year, what we need to do and what we need to provide depending on what's happening. But it's about us basically sharing the decision making and working in partnership and basically just being there to support and jumping in whenever we need to.
Oh, that's fabulous. Al, is there anything that you'd like to add about the importance of people working together to create change?
Yeah, I think, following on with what Fudge mentioned, it is really important that we do have advocates and allies and change agents in this space with us because, it can be really exhausting trying to prosecute an argument and trying to connect and get people to actually pay attention and give value to what it is that we are asking for value on, which is just to be recognised and invited in and a part of this sport. And I think, that's about then reflecting and having a real honest conversation with yourself and saying, have I got assumptions here? Am I being biased? Is it unconscious bias? What is it here? And the best way to test that is to go out and connect with Aboriginal people, connect with your local land council, have a yarn to whoever's playing down at the local Saturday, make that connection with them. And I think, as Fudge touched on as well, it's also about recognising that we talked about the connecting before and maintaining those connections, but it's not just about the consultation side of it and the engagement. It's about the decision making. We want to be at the table as well. Like we want to know, we know what's best for our mob to get in, to be given opportunities. So ask us, don't make assumptions around that. And I think having those honest conversations with a real sense of purpose around, walking together, that's what reconciliation is about. We can't do it without the allies and change agents around us, but we need to have a seat at that table.
Oh, it's fantastic. I'm going to move on to a couple of questions that came in before the webinar, and then thank you very much to those people that asked the question. The first is from Michaela and Tina Hickson from Didgerigar Netball at Mount Druitt, and they've asked the question that is on many people's lips. When will we see diversity of Indigenous female netball tickers actually get selected for teams? I know this is a question that is very close to both Courtney and Ali's heart, and I'm going to ask them to spend a few moments to talk about the importance of the selection process, a selection process free of unconscious bias. Courts, why don't we start with you?
Well, it's hard being from a player's perspective on this kind of question because we don't know what, your coaches see at the moment, like when we're on the court. But I feel like, I don't know, it's easy to get overlooked. And I don't know if it's like, especially being able to have the opportunity of going to, the rural areas and watching, the young players coming through as well. We play a different style of netball to everyone else. It wasn't until I was exposed to that, going to the the remote communities and stuff like that, I could actually see, you know, I'm not the only one that plays the way I do, and you know, you can see like coming from the young ones coming through. So it's just, I think, having that opportunity and, you know, getting that I don't know, getting that getting a chance really, like to play in that, like the high performance environment, and being coached by, you know, high performance coaches as well. So I think just having that door open just to give us a chance, really, I think that's where we can start, I suppose. Yeah.
It's what the night's all about, isn't it? It's opportunities. It's a big word, actually. It's not quite so easy to attain, but yeah, really fabulous word. Al, I think this is a really important topic, and one that I'd like you to add your perspective on as well.
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and you know, it keeps me up at night. Look, I think Courtney's probably alluded it a little bit in terms of, you know, the way in which we play the game, we read the play really well, and so forth. You know, it is a little bit different, and I think that's one of the challenges we have as a sport in this country, and I think it's one of the things that the Silver Ferns do really well, is that they do embrace diversity in the game. So, you know, they have that variance in player, athlete, and how they execute skills and so forth. And it doesn't make it any better or worse. It's just different. And I feel like we sometimes fall into a bit of a trap that, you know, someone's not leading a certain way, or it doesn't look the part, or whatever the case may be. And I just feel like sometimes, you know, that just really impacts opportunities for our players in the pathway. And I guess that comes back to what I'm passionate about, and it's really about challenging selectors around that, you know, assumptions being made. You know, what are you looking for in terms of measuring and marking a kid's ability to you know, execute a skill, or, you know, whatever needs to be done. And I think, I think we need to get better at that as selectors, and I think that's some of the work we've been doing, obviously, in our space in Netball New South Wales, but these are broader conversations we're having at the Netball Australia level as well. Like, we want to see selectors being really aware of diversity and embracing diversity in our game. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so mindful of the time and mindful of the many topics that we're keen to get through. So I'm going to try and get through these last couple. The next question was from our 19 and under state team coach, but I'm sure a question that is on many coaches' minds sitting out there tonight. Like most coaches, Jen is a coach that wants to ensure supportive and inclusive environments. And she was really keen to hear both Courtney and Ali's perspective on the best way of doing that, the best way of providing inclusive environments. Courts, let's start with you again, hey?
Going from coming to Sparks, I think, you know, best way having that conversation at the start. Just like, we have like a big yarning circle, and we all go around talking about, you know, our backgrounds and where we're from, and that kind of brings everyone, lets everyone connect in that way. And I feel like doing little things like that, and you know, important rounds. We've got the Indigenous round, and not even just the Aboriginal culture as well. It could be other cultures too. So bringing that awareness for, you know, the diversity in itself, you know, with each player. I think, you know, connecting with your players as well, and just, yeah, asking, have a genuine interest about your players and their background, you know, why they're upset that training. There could be something going on at home. Just, yeah, the well-being. I feel like, especially with Indigenous athletes, like we crave the connection. I think that's very important in our culture. So I feel knowing that someone's there, and, you know, having those connections, I feel is very important.
Gee, Al, I think unless you've got something, Courts, you're so wrong in saying that, you know, it's hard from an athlete's point of view, because your perspective is what counts. This is why we're all there. Yeah. Al, got anything to add in that area?
Yeah, I do actually. I just think lead, like, take the initiative. I think sometimes we need to just demystify some of this. And I think, you know, for me, you know, I was driving a lot of things in the spaces I've been in as coaches, but now it's just so nice with the people around me and Sharon Hill and so forth. I don't have to do a conversation around NAIDOC Week at our club. It's led by Sharon or Fudge. It's part of our culture at this club. So it's a very inclusive environment. And so I guess that's one of the things I really want to say is, you know, lead, do this, have a session about, you know, a reconciliation week, talk through some of this, because Courtney's right. The best way to get the best way to connect and get the best out of your athletes is to coach the person, not the athlete. So get to know them, know what their pressures are at home in their home environment, because that's what our role is. It's our job to pull the best out of them.
Oh, that's awesome. Listen, I'm so mindful to everyone out there that with 2 minutes to go, I know we haven't covered many topics. I am going to just raise this last question that was brought up both by Leslie Bell from Lake Cargelligo and Debbie Cross from Coonabarabran. And it's about regional athletes, opportunities for regional athletes. I'm not going to be able to answer this question fully at this time, but what I'd like to really assure everybody is that following this webinar, as we said at the beginning, this is our beginning, this is the start of our connection. We will send out notes to everyone. I'm going to talk very briefly about programs. We'll send out notes. We'll send out notes with our contact details. We'll send out notes with details of the programs that we're running at Netball New South Wales. I'd like to really say that we absolutely have a commitment to creating opportunities, and we do certainly have some plans. We're proud of some of the work that we've done so far and have some good plans in 2022 coming up, including a 13 and 14-year-old statewide program for Aboriginal athletes, coaches and umpires that won't be selected. It will be open, it will be for aspirational athletes, but it will be open. We've got the Koori Gala Days. We're committed to the Indigenous Talent Camp. We have coaching programs through Coaching Unlimited, and Courts, we are committed to the Indigenous All-Stars team. So what we will do is ask, please, that everyone stays engaged with us. Ali started off by saying what these nights are about us identifying the key people, the people that want to walk alongside with us. We want to continue to engage with you. We will send out contacts. So please, if there's something that we can help you with, whether it's a follow-up Zoom that we sit and talk about opportunities, listen to your ideas and what's happening out there. Please just contact us and we're very happy to facilitate. I would like to give the last word to Alison Tucker-Munro as a plea, please, to keep the ball rolling in this area.
Look, I think in terms of the conversation tonight, and obviously the Reconciliation Action Plan that Netball New South Wales have put into place, you know, this is not just about giving visibility and accountability to everyone that's a stakeholder in this space, but it's really about now drawing a line in the sand. And it's all about the roles each of us and the contributions each of us can make in ensuring that we can affect change in this space for our sport and for our girls and women. So please walk beside us so we can do this together.
Thank you all so very much for joining with us tonight. We hope the next time we see you, we get to see your faces and we get to listen to what you've got to say. Thank you all very much and have a fabulous evening.